how unspoken beliefs shape every interaction. What if I told you that every conversation you've ever had started before you or that other person said anything? So people aren't just responding to what you say, they're responding to what you believe unconsciously, often without even realizing it. So in this audio, you'll know exactly how you can change this and be aware of this so your interactions are much better, because your inner world is always speaking. My name is Alex Morgan, and I help you align your actions, your beliefs, your dreams, and your thinking so that you can create success. And success is here, and you might as well be ready for it. And one of the easiest ways to be ready for it is to understand that you have unspoken beliefs, and these enter all your conversations. So how can you actually change that? The first thing is you need to know that your energy communicates before you say anything. So long before you speak, your energy, your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, how you feel internally, that internal state is already shaping the interaction. Have you ever been around someone or met someone for the first time and they seem really, really nervous? Did you notice how that influenced the conversation? Maybe you've been around someone and you were really nervous and you noticed that that totally changed and influenced how the conversation went, how that interaction went. Or maybe you've been totally confident and then you went into that conversation and you and that person were able to get what both of you wanted. You created a win-win situation because you were totally confident. So your body language, the tone of voice that you use, even the expressions that you use on your face that a person picks up on unconsciously. You don't even have to be consciously aware of all this. Certain things that people do, it unconsciously gives us a certain feeling. It reflects back to us a certain way. So people are going to feel what you believe about yourself and them. People are going to pick up on this unconsciously without you even saying something. So I'm sure you've been around someone too where it feels like someone's saying all the right things. You ever met someone like that? You meet them and they're saying all the right things and you're thinking, is this too good to be true? What's going on here? They're telling me everything that I want to hear. That's because maybe their energy is revealing something else. So I'm sure you've noticed this. This is why this really matters. People can pick up on how we use our voice as well. So a lot of building rapport, it's only 7% of our language. 55% of it is physiology, 38% is tone of voice, and only 7% is the words that we say. And that doesn't mean that the words that we say aren't important. This just shows you that 93% of the communication that we use, people pick up on the energy around it based off of how we carry ourselves and how we're speaking to them, regardless of the words that we say. The second thing that's really, really good to be consciously aware of so that you can totally change your interactions is that your beliefs, they're always there. You're constantly transmitting your beliefs. Maybe you've met someone and you can tell after a bit that they have a belief of, I'm not good enough, people can't be trusted, I can't make enough money, I don't deserve it. So if you're thinking these things, or another person is thinking these things, they're out there. They're swirling around in that energy field. And the other thing that they do is these beliefs act like filters and frequencies that shape what you perceive, what you are picking up in the conversation, what you are attracting. So if you have this energy that you're not enough, you don't deserve it, you can't make enough money, check and see who are you hanging around, who is in your environment, what type of people are in your immediate environment that have influence over you. Chances are it's not people that make tons of money or people who are so confident. Maybe it is, and that's a good thing. If you're around those people, that means it's time to make changes. So if we're around people and our internal dialogue is thinking, oh, I'm not good enough, I can't make enough money, I don't deserve this, I can't be loved, that's going to show in our conversation. And that's going to show in the things that I mentioned earlier, your tone of voice, your physiology, the language that you use. Have you ever been around someone? I know I have. All of a sudden, someone comes in your environment and they don't gel with the beliefs that you have. You notice a lot of the things that they say are limiting beliefs. And you're thinking, wow, I really have to protect myself, my beliefs, from this person's beliefs, because everything that they say, or many things that they say, or some things that they say, are emitting limiting beliefs. So you have to protect yourself. Because you know this, you then have to protect yourself so that you don't take on other people's limiting beliefs. You need to understand that it is a mirror or it's not. So our reality around us is a mirror. So if you're around a bunch of people with limiting beliefs, this should tell you something. Chances are you have some limiting beliefs that you have to resolve or protect yourself from. So that's the second point that's really, really important. The third thing is energetic incongruence. This can create different things like anxiety, stress, tension. So when your words that you're saying and the beliefs that you have don't match, people are going to be able to feel that even if they can't explain it. So if you're speaking to people and you're sending mixed signals, I kind of mentioned this earlier, where you're meeting someone and it seems like they're saying all the right things. However, there's something inside of you that's telling you, I'm not sure about all of this. So these mixed signals can lead to confusion, disconnect in the communication. It can lead to you not trusting this person. So if you really want to create in your communication, in your relationships, where everyone is benefiting, then you need to have inner alignment. You need to believe that you are worth it, that you deserve it, that you can do anything. And you need to believe this before you even say anything, before you set a boundary, before you try to sell an idea, before you try to influence someone, or just saying something important to someone you know, because your thinking, your beliefs will have much more influence if you believe in them. So there's some examples of people being congruent and incongruent in their energy. So have you ever seen someone talking? I know I haven't. And they're talking to you and they're saying something and they're explaining something, and they should be shaking their head with like a big resounding yes. So it should be going up and down. Yet as they're talking, their head isn't doing that. It's almost doing a no, back and forth. And you're thinking, that's weird. They must not be congruent in what they're saying. Or maybe you met someone and the first time you meet them, they're saying so many wonderful things. Then you notice the next time you meet them, they're saying some things that contradict what they said the first time. So this is examples of incongruent. And the last thing, if you shift your beliefs, you're going to shift the way that you can influence people when you react with them. So when you change your unspoken beliefs, your unconscious beliefs, your relationships are going to change around you. Even if you're not even saying something differently yet. So you need to learn to update your limiting beliefs before you start to have any more interactions. And if you have a limiting belief, you can ask yourself, when did I decide to create this? What can I learn from this to resolve it right now? And what do I want to believe or do or feel instead? And this will create change in your beliefs. Your thinking will continuously change. A lot of times I tell clients, you need to ask yourself these questions for 15 minutes a day to resolve anything. so that in your interactions, you are the one influencing the conversation. You are the one creating what you want and focusing on what you want, because that focus creates your reality. So definitely share this with someone who will benefit. If you haven't already, go ahead and like the audio and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate everyone who's been subscribing lately. It really helps me keep creating content. If you do have a suggestion, something that you want to listen to, go ahead and drop a comment, and also comment below what's something that you want to believe, so your interactions go the way that you want. This will help us build a community of people who want to create their ideal future and predictable results. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you on the next video or the next audio.